The international break has become Arsenal's new proving ground, and if you thought the Gunners were only a club story, think again. This is now a multinational movement. Across Europe and beyond, key Arsenal players didn't just turn up for their countries. They led, they scored, and they reminded everyone that Arsenal's strength starts with people who can perform on any stage. Martin Odegaard wore the captain's armband for Norway and pulled the strings in a tense 1-0 win, a performance that wasn't flashy for the cameras but surgical in its effect. He managed tempo, found pockets of space and controlled the ball when his team needed composure most. That captaincy responsibility on the international stage isn't symbolic. It's a pressure test that makes him a calmer, sharper leader when he walks back into the Emirates dressing room. Meanwhile, Spain's midfield duo of Mikel Merino and Martin Zubimendi turned their clash into a one-sided affair, with Merino finding the net and Zubimendi anchoring possession, breaking lines and recycling play with the kind of discipline managers covet. Those minutes against Bulgaria were minutes spent refining discipline, timing and decision-making, all the invisible work that turns good seasons into great ones. And then there's David Raya, included in Spain's squad and ready on the bench, a reminder that Arsenal's options at the back are not an afterthought. Depth is now a talking point. It's a competitive weapon. Add to that the fact that 4 Arsenal players were trusted with senior England call-ups during the window, and one thing becomes hard to deny. Arsenal are no longer just producing talented youngsters, they are producing internationals managers depend on. So why does this matter beyond national pride? Because modern seasons are marathons where form, fitness and confidence compound. Players returning from successful international duty bring momentum. They arrive with match intensity and belief that spills over into club performances. Odegaard's calm, improved leadership and game management from the international game can raise Arsenal's midfield control for entire matches. Merino and Zubimendi, because they've recently proven they can boss a top-level midfield, give tactical flexibility. One can sit to break up play while the other connects forward, or they can swap roles to outfox opponents who study Arsenal's patterns. Raya's presence shows Arsenal can rest their first-choice keeper without a collapse in quality. That kind of certainty lets a manager rotate without exposing the team. Of course, there's a flip side. International minutes can mean fatigue, niggles, or the exact injuries managers fear. But measured properly, those minutes should build resilience rather than break it. The key is how Arsenal's coaching staff manage recovery, how they integrate lessons learned abroad, and how they harness the confidence these players bring back. The arrival of leaders returning from national duty often coincides with crucial club runs, a tight stretch of fixtures, a tactical shift demanded by opponents, or moments when dressing room authority is decisive. We should expect the next domestic fixtures to show whether these international performances translate into sustained points on the board. Tactically, Arsenal stands to gain nuance. If Odegaard's international captaincy sharpens his positional discipline and decision speed, Arsenal will dominate possession in more dangerous zones. If Merino keeps scoring and Zubimendi continues to control tempo, the team gains a defensive spine that lets its attackers risk more high impact moves. Even the psychological effect cannot be overstated. When a club supplies starters and leaders to national teams, opponents start to view that club as battle-tested and mentally robust, and that perception changes how matches are played and refereed. Depth becomes intimidation. Consistency breeds respect. Ultimately, the international break isn't a detour for Arsenal. It's a development alley. The club's players are collecting experiences that could tip a close title race in their favour. If they come back healthy, hungry and confident, those international minutes will look like the smartest off-season Arsenal could buy. Leadership sharpened, tactical options expanded, squad belief renewed. In a season where tiny margins decide championships, Arsenal's global footprint, captaincy, goals, control-ups might be the difference between being contenders and being champions.